Well, welcome back to another Wednesday whiskey review from your boys, the Buffalo Happy Hour. This is BHH Whiskey Talk. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What's up,
This
dude?
episode is brought to you by Addie's. Addie's Fine Wine and Spirits is a local family-owned liquor store that has an in-house wine sommelier, knowledgeable staff, putting my phone on silent because rude, and they are able to ship spirits to you right to your front door if you live in the great state of New York. So Addie's, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Today we have a special treat. This was a gift actually brought to moi from a very good friend of mine, also one of my groomsmen. This is a single barrel collab. So this technically is not strictly sold at Addie's. However, this is a fellow podcast collaboration with a local distillery out by them in Iowa. So this is the Confused Breakfast Podcast single barrel. It is hand selected by the podcast team. This cask of American single malt whiskey was first aged in ex-bourbon barrels and then finished for over a year in an ex-rum cask. Now, they do have direct shipping available in select markets. Unfortunately, they don't ship to the states of AK, which I don't know if it's Alaska or Arkansas.
Alaska. Arkansas's AR, bruh.
Relax.
AR-15.
Don't get canceled.
Canceled.
Thanks for following up on my setup joke. That was a volleyball serve and you spiked it. Alabama, Hawaii, Indiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Utah. When's the last time you looked at a state's initials and you're just like, that's what that state is?
All the time.
Oh, stop.
I think I do it like every morning when I wake up.
Shut up.
I do the alphabet backwards and I'm like, that's Arkansas for sure.
This is 100% malted barley from a whiskey standpoint. Now,
Let's go, dude.
it's hot, Derek.
That.
118 proof
Love it.
as a single malt, so I'm stoked for it. Now, a little bit about the history of Cedar Ridge.
Why are we doing this one first? JK, lol.
The Quint family has farmed and distilled spirits for generations. In 2005, Jeff founded Cedar Ridge because he believed it was time for Iowa, the #1 corn-producing state in the U.S., hell yeah, to share its homegrown bourbon whiskey with the world. Cedar Ridge was the first licensed distillery in Iowa since Prohibition. After releasing its first batch of whiskey in 2010, Cedar Ridge Distillery quickly became a nationally recognized leader in craft spirits, winning multiple awards, such as the American Distilling Institute's 2017 Distiller of the Year, as well as the Best American Craft Whiskey at the 16 New York World's Competition Spirits. So they do have a single malt, of course, which is an award-winning Iowa bourbon. They also have an award-winning Iowa bourbon. Each bottle of Cedar Ridge whiskey offers the best of authentic Iowa craftsmanship. Now, if you were curious on what in God's green earth the Confused Breakfast Podcast is all about, their show is actually pretty smart. It's a video podcast as well, but the Confused Breakfast Podcast is a channel that contains video episodes of nostalgic journeys back to the movie rental store era, where they essentially rate and rewatch and discuss old movies from their childhood with 20 plus years of hindsight. So they then try to figure out if the movie hits them the same way now that it did when they were kids.
Oh, that's cool. Like going to rewatch Grind or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. So super good idea. And they have a huge cult following.
Well, now we're going to steal it. So what up?
And yes, one of my groomsmen.
Movie Talk with BHH.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So we're going to stick to what we do. But yeah, one of my groomsmen is a massive fan and follower of their show. He reached out and he's like, obviously I support you guys as well. Try this out. And my gift to you. So I'm stoked. It's about $60 a bottle, extremely limited stock. I don't even know if it's still available at time of this release. It might have been sold already. It's a single barrel. But if it's available, get yours.
So they do this single malt.
Yeah.
It's available. It's just this regular single barrel of the single malt isn't available, right? Like this single malt is a staple product of theirs?
Cedar Ridge has their single malt.
Right, okay.
That's what
I'm asking.
This is a collab that they did where it's going to be similar to ours.
Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure that single malt you can still buy. It might not be the specific barrel, but you can buy the single malt from them.
You can get Cedar Ridge's single malt.
Okay, cool.
So,
love that. Label branding.
label branding. Nailed it.
I like the QuintEssential.
I like that touch. I like that touch. I also like that everything is very easy to read.
Yeah.
Rum cask finished. Swisher, Iowa.
It's very classy. I mean, the white, red, and gray is super classy.
The thing
Love that.
the thing that stands out to me is the wax. You can see it there. The wax seal at the top.
Yeah.
This guy, the red little dot that makes me happy inside.
Fake cork. Fail.
Synthetic. It's fine. It's fine. We get it. There's a cork shortage. What are you doing?
Jesus. It's tough to get back in.
Pause.
Pause.
All right. Label branding rating. What about the back of the label?
See, it's kind of tough to get off too, huh?
It is.
Pause.
Pause.
Back of the label is just
Nothing.
your government warnings
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Everything is really on at the front. I love their font. Their font is sick. It's got a real classy look to it.
They have the what is that?
Yeah, like the opaque logo in the background. I don't know what that is.
Is that like a? Can you
It
zoom in
looks
on
like,
zoom in
it
on
looks
that
like a
thing?
shield of like a crest of some sort. Like the one logo on it kind of looks like the New York State Distillers Guild. So maybe there's some sort of Iowa Distillers Guild or something like that is in Boston in the background. Like you can kind of see some sort of shield or community behind it.
It looks like a soldier from like Game of Thrones
yeah, that's
helmets.
what I'm saying. So it probably looks like some sort of guild or something. Okay, cool. Well, label
I like
branding,
it.
I'll go A. I like it.
Hey, I agree. I agree. I agree.
All right, let's pour her out, give her a little taste. She's coming out a little light. That's that single malt, bruv. So American single malt is our version of Scotch, except it's not distilled in Scotland or aged in Scotland for 3 years, which means we can't call it Scotch. We call it American single malt, which is what this is. Made with 100% malted barley. You're not going to get a lot of flavor and grains. You're going to get really a lot of impact from the barrel. Did they say what this is aged in? Is this new charred barrels or? Oh no, this is
It's finished in rum cask.
finished in
and
rum
then
cask.
X bourbon.
Okay, so it's actually probably going to taste quite a bit like Scotch, except no peat.
What are you getting on the nose? Ethanol. Ethanol heavy.
Ethanol, but I'm getting like a raisin on the nose. Like a raisin or a grape.
Dude, this tingles my nose.
Yeah,
Does it tingle your nose?
a little bit. Getting a little cinnamon too. Some allspice. This is a pretty inviting nose. It's not overly sweet, which is nice. You're kind of getting,
Bro, my nose is cooked right now.
in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know. I'm just not getting anything. Like it's
Really?
literally tingling my nose. I've never experienced that before at all.
Maybe it's the Picassos we had.
We had pizza before we recorded. Get real wild up here in Buffalo.
With blue cheese. Yeah, I'm getting kind of like a raisin cinnamon note. Cinnamon raisin bagel. There you go.
Cinnamon raisin bagel is what you're picking up.
Yeah, a little bit.
B plus?
Yeah, I'll go B plus.
All right.
If y'all haven't noticed, Mike's friend does not work for the distillery, but we do have an ethics statement in the video description because any whiskey that we review, we are not obligated to give a good rating because that's just who we are as people. We want you guys to listen to this and get our genuine reactions, not a paid reaction. So just a little note for y'all.
Oh, wow. Thoughts?
Ooh.
That's much sweeter than I thought it would be.
I was not expecting that.
Not at all.
Interesting. I was not expecting that at all.
Where's our Dapper Do?
It's probably on the table in the mess of bottles that we have to review.
There's a lot of bottles on the table. It's not that we have a problem. It's just science and research purposes. It's fine. This is it's sweet. There's a fruit note, like a fruit skin.
There's kind of like a, I don't want to say cinnamon, but have you ever put an Altoid in your mouth and there's automatically like this spicy cooling sensation? I don't really know if those contradict each other, but like when you put an Altoid in your mouth, it kind of like a cinnamon Altoid, it gives you that like very cooling but burn. I'm getting that a lot.
The
here.
Listerine tongue strips. Remember those?
Right, yeah.
That's what that is.
I was not expecting that from this product.
No. It's not one-dimensional, but it's just kind of... Why is it cooling?
That Listerine note, I was expecting this to be a very spicy... I mean, there is some spice now that the Listerine kind of goes away.
It's not a Listerine note. It's a Listerine experience.
I feel like it is very shocking to the senses to have this experience in a single malt. So when I first had it, I'm like, I'm not tasting anything else except it feels like I just brushed my teeth. Like, that's what I first got. But now that you have another sip, it kind of isn't as prominent. It's more of that shock factor.
This is waking me up.
So now that I had that sip, definitely getting the cinnamon. I'm getting that allspice. This kind of makes me feel like it's more of a holiday whiskey and something maybe that you would have come fall time. This doesn't strike me as a typical Scotch in the summer.
You know what I'm tasting on the initial taste? Is toffee. Don't swallow it. Let it sit on your tongue for a half second. Let it sink into your tongue, then swallow it, and you'll pick up toffee. You pick up toffee?
A little bit.
This initial taste, I'm going B-.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I agree. That cooling sensation really threw me off.
And again, not in a bad way, just very unique. And then I'm getting raisin on the ending note. For me. Whew. That hits you. 118. Good for you guys. Breakfast podcast coming in hot, boys.
Can you look up quickly for me on your phone their other single malt that they don't do at the breakfast podcast just to see what proof it comes out at? Because I'm almost positive their regular stuff doesn't come out at 119. I would be interested. So, like, the rum cask, you're definitely getting once you're away from that Listerine cooling note.
Holy guacamole. All right. They're core whiskeys. QuintEssential.
That's it. QuintEssential. Like, I want to look at their normal, regular whiskey. Their single malt.
Here it is.
Yeah.
I had to figure out how to operate their website. Hold on. We're good. 92 proof.
Yeah, so this is significantly hotter. Barrel strength, single barrel.
They use a 2-row pale malted barley in their normal single malt.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know a lot about whiskey. I don't know what that means. I don't know what 2-row pale means. Yeah, so those rum notes definitely come out. And at the end, after that Listerine kind of cooling sensation happens. But, I don't know. I'll go probably ending note B- again.
I was going to go C+ check.
Okay, let's go C+. Check.
C+ check it is. Would you have this in your collection?
Well, let's do final rating first.
I'm excited. Derek, give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
88.
I kind of blacked out there.
What happened? You did what our camera just did.
Yeah, no. I would 3, 2, 1.
88? 79?
Yeah, we gave it a C+ check on the one part.
The ending note?
Yeah.
79?
Yeah.
79.
79.
Hold on. 79, 88.
Remember what we talked about with
80,
Mike?
82, 83 range. 82.5.
No.
Damn.
No, what did I say? 79?
Yeah.
So 79, 88 is 9. Divide that by 2 is 4.5. 4.5 plus 79. 93 points, or 83.5.
I was close. I was one off.
Playoff?
Playoff. 83.5.
I think, this is just my opinion. It's not like I'm a whiskey expert or anything. I feel like, in my opinion, there's a lot going on in this bottle. And that Listerine note, I feel like is taking away from the beauty of the ending note and the initial taste. And I don't know if it's the proof. I don't know if it's that double row process that
No,
you're
that's
talking
not.
about.
No.
I don't know what that is coming from, but I don't normally experience that a lot with Scotch. And I feel like with something so delicate as a single malt, that Listerine note kind of throws me over the edge, and I'm just... I don't know.
It's okay.
That's my 79.
That's your 79. To me, this is a good product. Now, $60, 750 milliliters. Would you have it in your collection?
Because it's a single barrel, yes. Just because I like single barrels, but no. I feel like this is a $50 bottle, maybe. It's an experience to drink, and I appreciate single barrels. I do, but I don't know if I would. If I had this and other single malts in my collection, I don't know if I would go grab this and give it a pour.
I would buy this and have it in my collection. I would not buy a second bottle after having the first bottle.
Agreed. That's where we're at. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time today reviewing Cedar Ridge's QuintEssential single cask with the Confused Breakfast podcast. Check out their other selections as well, and let us know what you think.
And head over to their podcast, Confused Breakfast Podcast, and watch some of their videos because they are a trip. They do have a good show. They got a nice studio set up.
Do they?
Yeah. Shout out to the boys for, doing the grind. We totally understand. We get it. We're into our 4th year as a podcast. So if you do see this clip, head on over to Official Buffalo Happy Hour. We're on all major channels as well as YouTube. So thank you for this as well to the boy. And I'll keep your name silent for obvious reasons. But no, I mean, this is super cool. I love single barrel collabs that podcasts do with distilleries. So obviously we had to showcase it. We've done it twice ourselves. Mm-hmm. So cheers. Keep doing the Lord's work to all involved with this project, and hopefully many more to come.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Please remember always drink responsibly. Be a good person. And Michael.
Do not litter.
We're out.